So let's look at corresponding angles in parallel lines again. So we're looking at answering a question. What happens to angles in the same position when a line crosses two parallel lines? So we have seen this. So when a line called a transversal cuts across two parallel lines, it creates angles in matching spot at each crossing. These are called as corresponding angles. If the lines are parallel, the corresponding angles are equal, like perfect twins. So corresponding angles in the same related position when a transversal intersect two lines. Postulate: if a transversal intersect two parallel lines, corresponding angles are equal. Converse: if the corresponding angles are equal, then the lines are parallel. When a transversal intersects a pair of parallel lines, the corresponding angles are equal. When a transversal intersects a pair of lines that the corresponding angles are equal, then the pair of lines is parallel. Okay, so there are a lot of text. Actually, let me reduce this. I just wanted to read this, but all of this is same thing again and again. Okay, this is good enough. Corresponding angles as a definition. Angles in the same related position when a transversal intersect two lines. So basically, if we have two lines and a transversal line, so this is a corresponding angle to this. This is corresponding to this. This is corresponding to this, and this is corresponding to this. Okay, easy to relate. Now, there's a postulate. If a transversal intersect two parallel lines, corresponding angles are equal. So we have seen this. If I happen to have two parallel lines, right, and a transversal line, then by default, if this is 30-degree, corresponding to this is 30-degree. Okay, it's some number. Don't think about anything. If this is some number, this also will be some number. Something like that. Right? So you can imagine different set of numbers, but the corresponding angles measure will be the same. Now there is a converse. That is, if we happen to have two lines and there is a transversal line. Okay, this is random for me. And there is a transversal line. And if we happen to get our protractor over here and measure the corresponding angles. So in this case, I'm not able to exactly measure. Approximately, I'll take an approximate value, guys. This looks like 90, 90, 100, 110, 120. This looks to be 120. Now, the corresponding angle of this is what? Over here. Right? And let's measure that. Let's measure that. Oh, my bad. My protractor is over here. Okay. This is around, this is 100, 90, 100, 110, 120, close to it. It might not be, but I'll just write it as 120. This is 120. So what can we tell? Because the corresponding angles are equal, this is parallel to this. Okay, I forgot to mention. This is parallel to this. Both the lines are parallel. And this is the concept of corresponding angles. So as an example, please do this. You can do this. Draw two lines, draw a transversal line, and label them as A, B, and T. At the crossing, four angles are formed, and you need to mark the following. Try doing it. So this is A, this is B, and this is t. And if I call this as 1, this is 5. If I call this as 2, this will be 6. If I call this as 7, this will be 3 and 7. And if I call this as 8, this will be 4. Okay, so that's the funda. I think, yeah, that's it. Okay, so please try doing all of this, and you need to write all of the postulates and converse and everything.